So now that the measurement is completed, a couple of things to take care of and then we are done. First is to go ahead and flip around the Ambient Diffuser. And of course you get a new screen that shows you that you've done that. Now we'll go to the next button up here. And that brings us back to the measurement screen. You can see that start measurement is grayed out, so we know that we've got a measurement. You'll also notice there's no red question mark on the measurement icon like there was previously. So now that we know we made our measurement, let's go ahead and go to the next screen, which is where we actually build our ICC profile, hence the name of this screen. First thing we want to do is choose a file name, and I'm just going to leave this, actually what I'm going to do, because this is what I do for me, is I'm going to call it Retina, today's date, because it's for a Retina screen. I don't need the profile reminder, so I'm going to leave that off. And the ambient light monitoring I'm also going to leave off. So the next thing to do is to go ahead and save the profile by clicking right here. You can see that it is indeed saved successfully. I'll hit OK. So if we look over here, we can see the white point. We wanted 5517 and we ended up with 5539. That's pretty darn close. We wanted lumens of 110. We ended up with 116. And at that point, we're done. So now, next thing, we're going to profile the Viewsonic monitor. And we start that process by pressing this button here and returning to the home screen. So now I'm on the Viewsonic monitor, which we'll need to profile manually instead of using the automatic display control, or the ADC, which, as you'll soon see, is not available for this monitor. Once we're on the home screen, we'll go up here to the upper left-hand corner again under Workflow Selector and Profiling Display. Most of the various steps in the profiling process are virtually the same. There's two big differences. One is we need to make sure that we are profiling the proper monitor. To do that, I drag the software screen to the Viewsonic. And the second difference is the measurement process, as you shall soon see. Everything else on this screen here, we're going to go from screen to screen. This is exactly the same as we went into detail earlier, so I'm going to move on. Same here on this one under Profile Settings. Under Patch Set, I'll choose Large again. And I'll move on to Next. And you'll notice right away that the ADC is unchecked, and that's because the software is pretty darn smart. It says that you need to adjust the brightness, contrast, and RGB gains manually. So that's what we're going to do. We'll start the measurement process right here again. So just like last time, we're going to go ahead and open the Ambient Diffuser. And it's just like the picture shows in the instructions in the upper left. I just did that, and I'm setting it on my screen just like the picture. The first thing you'll notice is the screen in the upper left is quite a bit different. And again, this software has already figured out what we need to adjust manually. Contrast, RGB controls, and brightness. So we'll hit the Next button. It goes through a few things. It's checking for contrast and finding the actual hardware. The next screen is where we'll do our white point adjustment. But before we go any further, I've got to emphasize that you'll need to be familiar with how your on-screen display or OSD controls work on your particular monitor. If you're unsure, consult your owner's manual or search online. I'll be showing you how my Viewsonic monitor's OSD screens and controls work, which look a lot like most of the manually adjusted monitors out there. Two things to keep in mind. First, the software used to record this video won't capture my OSD screen displays in real time. So what you're seeing here are images of my monitor that I shot with the camera on my iPhone. Second, you also can't see the physical buttons located at the bottom of my monitor that I'll press to navigate through the display. But here's a picture of what my buttons look like. My 4 buttons are labeled 1, 2, the up arrow, and the down arrow. The next thing is the white point adjustment, and mine is pretty close, as you can see. I'll click on that, and these are specific to this monitor, and I'm going to click down, as you should also, to color adjust and user color. I'll scroll down and it'll want me to decrease the blue gun just a little bit. So I'll do that until the down arrow in the upper left is gone and we have a check mark. As you can see that our target was 5501 and we were 5539, which is certainly within the tolerance that we're looking for. I'll hit the next button. Now it's going to go to brightness adjustment. You can see we were looking for 110. Our measured white luminance is 110, so we're right on there, and we have a green check mark in the upper left-hand corner. If I needed to adjust my brightness, I would go ahead and click on my on-screen display, go to contrast brightness, and I would, as you can see, I can scroll down to the brightness, and I could change that if necessary, which I don't, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. I hit the next button again. Now all that happens is essentially the same thing that happened with the last monitor. It'll take about 15 minutes to go through this patch set. Once this patch set is done, then you're ready to go. All you got to do is name and save your profile at the end. And that's how you profile a monitor. If you have any questions, please contact me. Thanks a lot. God bless.